Hello and welcome. My name is Elizabeth Crawford. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach and essential oil specialist, and I'm going to share with you an overview of the upcoming 30-day cleanse. Now, you may be in the group here and not participating in the cleanse, or you may be super excited and ready to go for the cleanse. Either way, this information is for you. You may choose to do a cleanse at a later date, and this will be all the resources that you'll need. So welcome everyone who is here. I will get started. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Welcome to the 30-day cleanse. Activate, reset, and renew. I'm going to go over all the various different parts of the cleanse. But again, let me reintroduce myself. Elizabeth Crawford, integrative nutrition health coach. I have been using essential oils for over 6 years. I have been studying and researching and just a general student of nutrition and holistic wellness for decades. And I am a big advocate for this cleanse. I did it for the first time about 6 years ago with my partner, Tom, and it was life-changing. Just the lifestyle changes that you will adopt throughout the course of this cleanse will be so important to your vitality moving forward. So good on you, as they say, for making this choice for yourself. And just so you know what we're going to get into over the next, let's say maybe 20 minutes or so. I'm going to try to keep it brief. I'm going to do an overview of the cleanse. I'm going to talk about each one of the supplements, and I'm going to talk about what to eat. And there is additional information. There will be an additional video if you do choose to take this from basic to more of a discovery of what foods are really serving and harming your body. So there will be different levels of how you can participate in this cleanse concerning food choices. All right, so here she is, the Cleanse and Renew cleanse kit. You maybe have purchased this as a whole kit, or you purchased the individual supplements. Either way, this is what you need. The main foundation of this cleanse is the activate portion of it. Now, this cleanse is broken down into 3 10-day phases. And I like to tell people that because when you hear 30 days, a lot of people will get a little bit nervous about what they can sustain for 30 days. So if you can think about this as 10-day chunks, we can do anything for 10 days. And I have complete faith in you that you can follow through with each one of the 10 days. So the foundation of this cleanse is the activate phase, and that includes your lifelong vitality supplements, Terrazyme, Zendocrine Complex, the Zendocrine Detoxification Blend, which are soft gels, and then the lemon essential oil. That's your foundation. The activate phase is essentially the full 30 days, but we want to get really, really good at it within those first 10 days because it's our foundation and it's going to be where we start to build these healthy habits. The second set of 10 days is the reset phase, and that's when we're going to incorporate GX Assist only for those 10 days, and then we stop. And then for the last 10 days, we introduce DDR Prime, which stands for Damaged DNA Repair, and PB Assist, which is a great prebiotic, probiotic combo supplement. So that's what we're looking at. Let's get into the details of those supplements. So the lifelong vitality, not only is it the foundation for this cleanse, it's really your foundation for general health. So when we wrap up this cleanse, I'm going to encourage everybody to use these supplements moving forward. This is going to be your aftercare. So again, we want to get really, really good at the routine of implementing these supplements because this is what you're going to continue to do post-cleanse as well. So this is going to be your best friend. The Lifelong Vitality supplements is a set of 3 separate supplements. The Microplex VMZ is your food nutrient complex, and it has all your vitamins and minerals. But what's really cool about them is they come from a whole food source. So you're getting kale, dandelion, parsley, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and spinach. This is for general health. You know, a lot of us are already on a pathway of eating a really clean whole food diet. The problem is that because of our current food system, the soil is overfarmed, lacking nutrients, and that translates into fruits and vegetables that are also lacking nutrients. So the food that we have today that we get in the produce aisle is nothing compared to what our grandparents and great grandparents had the benefit of enjoying. So there are still going to be holes in our diet, regardless of how clean we're eating. So I just want to make that very, very clear, that supplementation is important for everyone. And it really is just, it's right in the world. It's a supplement to your current diet. Yes, you're getting good nutrients, but this just supplements those gaps, which we all have. And this is going to help with fighting free radicals, boosting your metabolism. It's going to help with your body's ability to make energy at the source in the cells, immune function, and bone health. So that's the first one. The second one is going to be your XE omega. The omegas are awesome for brain health, cardiovascular health, immune response. I think we're all a little concerned about our immune response right now. Your skin health, your eye health, and just your joints in general. So you might be feeling like you're lacking omegas in your diet if you ever are getting brain fog or achy joints, or if your skin, hair, and nails are not as glamorous as we'd like them to be. The XE omega is going to help with that. So the thing that really sets this omega apart from something else that you might find is that it has all these amazing essential oils in it. So it has clove and frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. Now, these essential oils, not only do they help support your body in a way where they're fighting free radicals, but they're also keeping the actual omega ingredients from oxidizing. So one of the biggest complaints I hear with omegas is that you take them, you ingest them, and then you're going about your day, minding your own business, and then you get the fish burps. Now that's foul on so many levels, and I'm sorry if you've ever experienced that. But the omegas that we have, you won't experience that. If that's ever been your experience, it really is that the omega is oxidized or it's gone bad, essentially. So this isn't going to be a problem with the XE omega. And they're just so good for you. We went through this huge phase in the United States. If you were born in the 80s, you remember where anything that had fat in it was like untouchable. You didn't want to have anything with any sort of fat in it whatsoever. And it led us down this pathway of avoiding the healthy fats, which support our brain, our joints, our skin, hair, and nails. And it supplemented those healthy fats with things like sugar and non-food substances, so that food product would still have some type of a flavor. Because we're really turned on by the flavor of fatty foods because it does nourish us on so many levels. So we want to get back to having those healthy fats in our diet, and they come from things like fatty fish, leafy greens, and nuts and seeds. And that's not something that we get a ton of in the standard American diet. So we really want to have omega-3s, which are the good fats, in a ratio to the omega-6s, which come from like fried foods and processed foods in a 1-to-1 ratio. And we're getting them in more of like a 1-to-1 ratio. And we're getting them in more of like a 1-to-18 ratio. So we want to bridge that gap a little bit and bring down those omega-6s, have less of that food in our diet, and then bring up our omega-3s by eating those foods, but also supplementing with a good, clean land and sea omega. like the XE omega. And then we've got alpha CRS. This is awesome for cellular support in the energy process. So talking about fighting free radicals, the older we get, our body as it's creating energy. So our cells, inside each one of our cells, we have a little powerhouse that creates energy for us. And the older we get, the less efficient that energy production process becomes. You can kind of compare it to like an older vehicle. As the vehicle gets older, when it produces energy, you start to see exhaust coming out of the tailpipe. You start to hear it backfiring, and it's really rickety and loud. It's a very inefficient process. So this is essentially the oxidation process. And that's what happens in our cells as we age. Alpha CRS helps to make that process a lot more efficient, so we don't get those free radicals as a byproduct of energy production in our body. Because what does that do? That degrades cells. It reduces our ability to make and use energy. It increases the aging process. So we want to avoid that. And alpha CRS helps with that. It protects your DNA. It helps to increase oxygen supply to your brain. So the three of these combined, if you're experiencing anything in the realm of brain fog or body aches and pains, low energy, and just overall difficulty of basic functions, this is going to help supplement and fill in the gaps that we really, really need. We're going to get CoQ10 with this. CoQ10 helps support heart muscle health. You're probably hearing that from your doctors. Quercetin, which helps with the histamine response. It also is a really strong, it fights free radicals. I'm not getting the word, sorry. Resveratrol, you know, you've heard about that in red wine, ginkgo biloba. These are all for brain clarity and energy and fighting free radicals. So all the good stuff here, that's your foundation. All right, now we want to get your enzymes in. So what do enzymes do? We have two different types of enzymes that function in our body. One is the metabolic enzymes, and they help to regulate glucose levels and energy balance. You find that in your blood, your tissues, your organs throughout your body, really helps to regulate metabolic activities. The other enzymes we have are digestive enzymes. Now we get those, one from unprocessed, uncooked foods, and then our body also produces them. Now we need those to digest food in our stomach down to the smallest macro that we possibly can. So breaking down protein into little protein molecules and carbs into carbohydrate molecules, so that when it passes through into our small intestine and large intestine, it's making a lot less work, a lot less inflammation for the rest of the digestive process. So we really do need those enzymes, but the older we get, the less we produce. Also, the more processed foods we eat, the less we're ingesting. So if we don't have them through our food or through our digestion process, then we rob them. Our stomachs will rob them from the metabolic process, which makes it difficult for you to have all those other metabolic activities, right? Because we need it, we're robbing it for the digestion process, and then you don't have it so that you can carry out basic metabolic processes. So we just want to make sure we're getting it in our diet somehow. So either through food that's less processed or through supplementation. So the Terrazyme enzyme is a supplement that we're going to be using throughout the course of this program, again, in all three of the phases, starting with the activate phase. And it helps to replace those digestive enzymes, so we're not robbing from our metabolic processes. Enzymes help to convert nutrients into energy. They promote food tolerance. So the Terrazyme enzyme has different types of enzymes in it, including a gluten enzyme. So it helps to break down gluten, enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates and dairy and proteins. So it really just aids your body in that process. So we're getting all the nutrients out of our food. So we're not creating any undue inflammation or stress on the rest of the digestive system. This is going to be great for anybody who has any sort of bloating. Enzymes also support the digestion and elimination of scar tissue in the body, of cysts in the body, as well as mucus. So it can help on an empty stomach if you're taking it to break down any fluid in your lungs, and just clean out all the crud. So Terrazyme is amazing supplement. I think you're gonna like it if you haven't experienced it before. Then we've got the Zendocrine complex, and you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. You're also going to be seeing all of this information in the Facebook group that you're participating in. So don't feel like you have to write all this stuff down. You also have this in your ebook. And I would just encourage you to either print out off portions of it or the entire thing, just so you can take your own little notes and have it handy. But the Zendocrine complex is something that is part of the cleanse. And yes, it is different from the Zendocrine soft gel. So you need to have both. I get that question a lot. So the detoxification complex, how it works is it supports the filter organs. So the filter organs are going to be your colon, your kidneys, your liver, your digestive tract, as well as your lungs and your skin. So those are all filter organs. Any organ that is keeping the good stuff in and keeping the bad stuff out is going to be a filter organ. So you're going to be supporting all of those organs during this process by using this supplement. And that's important because we're going to be detoxing the body. So if you're going to clean a system, you want to make sure those filters are supported and clean. So the Zendocrine supplement actually supports and cleanses the filter organs. So very, very necessary part of this process. And I will tell you too, I use the Zendocrine complex outside of the cleanse on a pretty regular basis. So really, really great supplement just to get familiar with and have in your bag of tricks for supporting your body. Okay, so we've got our Zendocrine soft gel now, and that is the essential oil of Zendocrine in a soft gel form. So if you are coming into this cleanse with the Zendocrine essential oil, you can actually use this in place of the soft gel by putting 2 drops of the Zendocrine oil in a soft gel when you're taking this throughout the protocols. So the blend it has in it tangerine, rosemary, geranium, juniper berry, and cilantro. And each one of these oils has a different function that supports the detoxification process of the body. So tangerine, super strong antioxidant, like all citrus oils. It helps to boost the production of glutathione. And it has cleansing properties for your kidneys and liver. Rosemary supports a healthy liver and gallbladder and reduces xenoestrogens. So xenoestrogens are synthetic estrogens. And they come in the form of different types of plastics. So this shows up in our drinking water. It shows up in our food system. You know, it drives me crazy that organic produce gets wrapped in plastic because that residue, it makes its way into if it's not making our way into our body, it's eventually making its way into our groundwater and then into our water system. So those are xenoestrogens, and they basically, when they enter the body, they mimic actual estrogen. And we need a very specific amount of estrogen at different levels throughout the cycle, the female menstrual cycle. And when we have extra estrogen introduced to the system, it throws it out of balance. And that's when we start to get really uncomfortable symptoms like PMS symptoms and things like endometriosis and PCOS. So really important that we are eliminating that stuff from our body because we can be very mindful to avoid, but it does creep its way into our system. So you want to flush it out as often as possible. Geranium cleanses the liver, gallbladder, and balances hormones, and it rids the body of unwanted estrogens again. Juniper berry, powerful detoxifier, awesome for the kidneys. I use it over my kidneys when my kidney stones feel like migrating, and it helps to speed up the process. Cilantro, very powerful. And the thing that is super important about cilantro is that it binds itself to heavy metals and then allows that heavy metal to be excreted from your body, because heavy metals are very difficult to remove from the body, and Zendocrine is big help with that. Another thing that we're going to be doing throughout the duration of the cleanse. And really something you want to get into a habit of doing on a regular basis is drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every single day, and then including a couple drops of lemon essential oil into that water throughout the day. And that's just going to continue to aid the process of cleaning your kidneys and your liver and eliminating all of that crud from your body. You can substitute here. Lemon's great, but you might want to mix it up. Choose an essential oil that is a citrus essential oil or a blend that has a citrus in it. Slim and Sassy is a really great one. Other citruses I like to sip on are grapefruit. I like lime. Tangerine's really great too. So you can mix it up here. This slide does not look very pretty. This is GX Assist. You're only going to be taking this for the 10 days in the middle of the cleanse. And it does have in it, this doesn't look right. I'm trying to see what it actually says. This looks funny. So what is in it is caprylic acid. So caprylic acid is derived from seaweed, and seaweed, well, caprylic acid makes the environment in your gut unfriendly for parasites and yeast and the things that we want to flush out of our system. And then you also have oregano in this supplement, and oregano is a super strong antimicrobial. So you're going to be getting kind of a 2 different points of defense here to make it an unfriendly environment, and then also kill off the nasty visitors that we have in our gut. And that can look like a whole bunch of different things. Yeast is one of the main things that we're focused on in this cleanse, but also other parasites as well. So this is really, really supportive for just flushing out your GI tract. So when I talk about this cleanse, I really call it a full body cleanse, because when we're using the endocrine supplements, we're really detoxing the whole entire body, all of our filter organs, we're clearing everything out. And then we're bringing in this GX Assist to cleanse out our GI tract. So you're getting the best of both worlds here. It's a really unique cleanse, and you walk away from it with full body overhaul. So I just want to point that out to you, that this is specifically for addressing your gut. And then we're going to take 2 supplements in the last set of 10 days, including the PB Assist and DDR Prime. PB Assist is a probiotic, and it is really unique in how it's engineered. It passes through the stomach acid. So your stomach is designed to kill anything that enters it. So you have a problem with a lot of probiotics that are on the market because they die in your stomach juices. So this is different. It's built so that it can pass through the digestive tract, the upper digestive tract, into your small intestine, and it doesn't dissolve until it's getting deep into your gut, where we need these probiotics. And packaged in that supplement are prebiotics. So prebiotics are the probiotics food, and prebiotics, if we were to ingest them as food, are cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli and cabbage, very fibrous types of vegetables, even apples, full of different types of probiotic or prebiotics. And what that really means, a prebiotic is a fiber that's undigestible by our digestive system. But when you have the right probiotics, the right bugs in your gut, those are the little fellas that we have that are living in our digestive system that can digest this fiber, and they do. So we have this symbiotic relationship with probiotics that I'll get into more when we get into this phase of the cleanse. And it's just really unique in that this supplement passes through into where we need it, and then it's packaged with all the food that the little buggies need. So we've got everything going on with this probiotic. And you can go ahead again and snapshot the information here if it is important to you. We've got lactobacillus, and then we've got different bifidum strains that are awesome. And then we've got the oligosaccharides, which are the probiotics. So really, really cool supplement. Then we got DDR Prime. Again, this is just in those last 10 days, loaded with essential oils. This is another supplement or soft gel that is just made up of our DDR Prime essential oil blend. And in this case, you can take one veggie cap and put 4 drops of the DDR Prime in it, and that will equal one of those soft gels. So frankincense, wild orange, lemongrass, thyme. That should say summer savory, not summery savory, but that sounds fun too. Clove, niuli, and litsea. The overarching theme with DDR Prime is DNA repair. So this is going to help your cells to function properly. This is one of those essential oils or supplements that increases what's called apoptosis. Apoptosis is cellular death, and that sounds like a bad thing, but it's really not. We want to turn over our cells regularly so that we have fresh, new, smart cells. When we increase this apoptosis or cellular death, we're killing off all the sick cells so that they don't have enough time to duplicate. We don't want sick cells to be duplicated. So this is one of those supplements and blends of essential oils that flush out the cells that aren't behaving properly. And it allows for new cells to be created with smarter, cleaner DNA. And that's the stuff we want duplicating. So I love that this supplement is added in at the end here, because we've gone through this process of cleaning up our diet, of flushing out xenoestrogens and heavy metals and free radicals. And now we're taking a supplement that's going to take all those healthy cells that we just created and duplicate them. So it's like you're getting a cellular makeover. DDR Prime is one of these oils that we do not give enough attention to. This is another one that I take regularly in the off season when I'm not doing a cleanse, because it helps my body with pain. It's amazing because of the clove and the frankincense and the lemongrass. It's an amazing oil for inflammation as well. So keep that in mind, that this might be something you want to add into your regular daily regimen moving forward. Okay, so quick snapshot of just the basic overview here. Again, we have our Activate supplements, which is Lifelong Vitality, Terrazyme, Zendocrine Complex, Zendocrine Detox Blend in the soft gel form, and then our lemon essential oil. And then the second phase is our reset phase, where we just introduce the GX Assist, and then DDR Prime and PB Assist is the last phase, just to give you that overview. Now, this is another daily snapshot that I think kind of lays it all out for you really clearly. I like to print this out so that I can just reference it daily as I'm taking my supplements. Like, am I taking the right supplements at the right times? So you can snapshot this, but this is also in your ebook, which I would recommend printing or having it on your phone so you can reference it easily as you're going about your days. So in the Activate phase, one thing I want to point out too with the Terrazyme supplement is if you got the Cleanse and Restore kit, you got 1 bottle of Terrazyme. So you'll notice there are 2 times, wake up and before bed, where you can take Terrazyme on an empty stomach essentially, and it's optional. So when you're taking Terrazyme on an empty stomach, it is serving your body in a little bit of a different way. So remember I mentioned there's metabolic enzymes and there's digestive enzymes. So when we're taking it in the morning and at night on an empty stomach, we are supporting our metabolic enzymes, and we're also supporting that flushing and that detoxing of cysts, of scar tissue, of any sort of excess fluid, mucus that we have going on in our system. So this is an additional extra thing that you can do. Whereas the Terrazyme that you're taking with your morning meal, your afternoon, and your evening meal, that is more digestive support, so that we're not robbing from our metabolic enzymes. So you can do both, or you can choose to just do the digestive ones. Entirely up to you. If you choose to do both, you're going to need 2 bottles of Terrazyme. And as I mentioned, the Cleanse and Restore kit comes with just 1 bottle of Terrazyme. So that won't get you all the way through. It's 90 supplements. You're going to need 150 to get through the whole 30 days, doing both the morning and night, and then also the digestive enzymes during the day. So up to you. You can choose to just do the digestive version, or you can choose to do 1 extra bottle and use it in the morning and at night. And hopefully that was clear. If it's not, you can reach out to me, reach out to the person who invited you to do this cleanse. I mean, I'm doing both, but if you're new to this and you want to ease into it, go with just the digestive. That would be my recommendation to you. So let's see. This is a lovely blank page. I wonder what was on that page, if it was something we needed. Are we having a problem loading? Nope. Let's see. Just a blank page. There we go. Okay, so this is a sample tracker. This is on page 14. Oh, I'm sorry, page 12 of your Cleanse and Restore guide. This, again, I actually have this taped on my wall already right next to my supplements so that I can check off as I go. You'll notice that the foundational supplements and the Terrazyme are used in the Activate, Reset, and Renew straight across. Then you've also got your Zendocrine Complex and Zendocrine Soft Gels straight across in all 3 of the sections. And then the same with the lemon, just as I described earlier. And then GX Assist is only in the reset phase. Then your probiotic here, PB Assist, and then your DDR Prime is only in days 21 to 30. See that? You can go ahead and like highlight these with different colored markers for each one of the phases, whatever makes you happy and whatever is going to have you on track for those different phases. Get creative with it. Okay, so the dying question that everybody needs to know when we do a cleanse is what can I eat, or what can't I eat? And I'm going to clear some things up for you. So you can really do this in 3 different levels. Okay, so there's the basic protocol. When we're using these supplements, you are going to experience detox symptoms. So what you don't want to do is be eating things and consuming things that are going to increase those symptoms. Symptoms look like bad breath, headaches, acne, body aches, kind of get like flu symptoms. And that's not for everyone. It really isn't. I usually just get a headache when I start up with this. But if you've never done any sort of an elimination protocol, or if any of this is really new to you, there's a strong chance you might experience some detox symptoms. So you don't want to increase those detox symptoms. As a very basic protocol, you're going to eliminate caffeine, sugar and sweeteners, processed foods and food additives, and alcohol. And alcohol containing foods. So you really want to focus on that. You're going to start that 3 to 5 days before we actually start the cleanse as well. That is a time period called the pre-cleanse. During that time, you want to start eliminating, because we're going to introduce supplements on that day 1. And again, with those detox symptoms, you want to ease into this so that you're not like driving 150 miles into a brick wall. You want to ease into this a little bit. So you want to wean yourself off of the caffeine and the sugar and any of the processed foods and food additives and alcohol. I am not a monster, so I didn't put chocolate in this category. I did put it in the next phase. So we'll move on from basic. The advanced phase is going to be for anybody who has been experiencing any sort of discomfort that they would like to eliminate. We're getting more into a traditional elimination diet in this phase or in this category. This is where I would expect most people to be. You're not doing this cleanse because you're bored. You're doing this cleanse because you are maybe feeling a little off. Maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's headaches, maybe it's difficulty sleeping, could be acne. I know I have a nice rash of acne across my forehead. And I know that sometimes we don't really know what the root cause of these are. But if we take a deep look into what we're nourishing ourselves with, you'll find the root cause. So yes, in the basic phase, we're eliminating all the things that we already know aren't good for us. In this more advanced phase, we're eliminating things that are potential food triggers. And you maybe have experienced things like abdominal pain, digestive upset, brain fog, bloating, fatigue, gas, constipation, headaches, insomnia, aches and pains in general, nausea, sinus congestion, chronic runny nose, skin rash, or breakouts. Any of those things, you're really going to want to try to get more into this advanced category. So what you're going to do here is you're going to eliminate dairy, chocolate, gluten-containing grains, eggs, corn, and soy. You'll notice dairy, gluten, eggs, corn, and soy, these are our largest commodities in the food industry, and they are produced in mass quantities, and corners are cut, and the end product is not what it once was. There are additives, there are pesticides, there are nutrition gaps. It's a Frankenstein version of what once was. So I would encourage you to eliminate these things from your diet. Now, if you are still experiencing irritations at the end of this 30 days, or if you've done this before and you want to go full throttle, then I'm going to have you add in, or eliminate rather, pull out sesame seeds, yeast, citrus fruit, nightshades, and nuts and peanuts. So this isn't going to be everyone. In fact, it might even be, you might be a combination of these things. So everybody should be doing the basic elimination, the advanced, maybe you want to do half of these, maybe you want to do 4 or 5 of these, and pull something from the full throttle version. So it's entirely up to you what this elimination diet looks like. But start with the basic and then build on from there. You know, I would bet that you have an intuition about what is your trigger. I think that we all kind of know, like, it's probably gluten. I know that when I eat pasta, I'm super bloated for the next 24 hours. Like, I think you might have an inclination. If you don't, that's fine. But also tap into that intuition a little bit and ask yourself, like, where should I start? A true elimination diet eliminates all of these things. I'm not asking you guys to do that unless you want to. I think that this can be done in tiers, starting with the basic, and then definitely like strongly consider everything that's in the advanced category. And then if you want to pull in some stuff from full throttle, have at it. Everything you need to do this elimination diet in either one of those different levels is going to be in these documents here. So the elimination diet complete guide, that is going to talk to you about why you are doing an elimination diet. It's going to talk about the difference between sensitivities and true allergies. And it's going to give you a lot of really amazing resources. So for me, I printed it out, and it's lengthy. So it's, you know, it's a commitment if you're not wanting to print a ton of pages, but I'm telling you, it's very, very worth it, because you can take your notes there. You can read it. You can curl up on the couch with it. You can really get familiar with the information in these pages. So my wish for you is that you basically write for yourself a user's guide. You know, we don't come with a manual. It's not super clear. We're kind of just going with the flow a lot of our life and taking cues and education from the media, from conversations that we overhear or are a part of, from commercials, from celebrities. So they don't know what's best for you. They don't. only you can really write that manual for yourself. And these are the instructions to do that. So I do encourage you to kind of like get really close to this. You might make mistakes, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you can't start over. It doesn't mean you can't do this again another time, but this is going to tell you exactly how to do it. You have everything you need within these pages. So just get really comfortable with it so that you can get more comfortable with your body and write that manual for yourself. I'm like a huge believer in this. So there's a lot of great resources right in this guide itself. Then the next document here in the middle is your meal plan. So it's 2 weeks of meal plans, easy. It gives you a layout for what you can eat and what you can't eat. It gives you shopping lists. It gives you recipes. This is going to be key for you, and it's 2 weeks. So how I like to go about something like this is I'll do the first week like all in, and I'll get to know like what I like and what I don't like. And then I might carry over some stuff from that first week into the second week, and then be really kind of like carefully consider what I do in the second week. All the while kind of trying to stick to those specific foods, but adding in the things that I know I really like. And again, that goes back to like writing that manual for yourself. What do you like within the parameters of these recipes and these recommendations? And then the third part of this is your reintroduction diary. So with an elimination diet, the science behind it is you eliminate a specific food ingredient for 21 to 30 days. That gives it enough time to come out of your system and eliminate the symptoms. It's fun to say. And then reintroducing each one of those individual food ingredients one at a time to see if your symptoms return. And in doing this, you are getting the layout for the foods that are serving you and are not serving you. So when you reintroduce something and those symptoms come back, that is on the no list for 3 months, and you completely eliminate it for 3 months. This is not a life sentence. An elimination diet is not a lifestyle diet. It's not a permanent thing. It's meant to teach you what works for your body. So if it doesn't work for you, you eliminate it for 3 months. And during that time, when you've eliminated a food, you want to just be really good to your gut. You want to heal your gut lining, because if you can do that, if you can reduce the inflammation by removing that food ingredient, then you reduce inflammation and your gut can heal. And that's what we really need. So over the course of those 3 months, there's potential for you to actually heal your gut and then reintroduce that food again and not have those symptoms, or have less symptoms and know that you're making progress. So it is a process, but it is very rewarding in the end, and nobody can do it for you but you. This is the work. A doctor can't tell you what is right for your body. You have to figure it out, and you have to build that intuition for yourself. And I know that you can do it, and you're going to love it so much to have that control for yourself. So all of that is available to you. Links are in the Facebook group. And I can attach them to this YouTube video as well. Couple resources that really stand out to me in the documents that I just mentioned, foods to include. What I like about this is it doesn't just tell you what to include, it gives you examples. So if you're kind of like new to this world, if you've never had legumes before and you didn't know that lentils were legumes, this lays it out for you. Okay, I get it. I know what I can have and what I can't have. So this list is pretty extensive. This is just one piece of it to give you an example. Foods to eliminate. What I like about this, it's going to tell you the food, and then it's going to tell you the common sources. So a lot of times we don't really know what's in our food. This helps to make it very clear to you what you need to really study and analyze before you put it in your body. And this is great right here, alternatives. Okay, I can't have soy. I don't like to tell people what they can't have. I'd rather tell people what they can have. And you just focus on these alternatives here. It's not the end of the world that you can't have agave syrup or brown sugar. Because guess what? You can have coconut sugar and you can have honey and you can have monk fruit and maple syrup. Oh my goodness. Like there's so much more value in the things that you can have versus the things that you can't have on this elimination diet. So have faith. This resource is fantastic as well. So the hidden ingredient list, yeah, we're cutting out corn. These are the secret disguised ingredients that you're going to find on the back of boxes that actually have corn in them. So you would never suspect that caramel on an ingredient list was corn, but it is. Or things like xanthan gum, dairy, you're going to find it as casein, you're going to find it as rennet, you're going to find it as lactulose. These are things that maybe you wouldn't have known. And even looking at peanuts and potato, like I didn't know these things. Gluten, you're going to see gluten as on an ingredient list as alcohol, or even just starch, or bran, or germ. Those are the things that don't raise red flags when we see them because they don't look like gluten, right? So that's really important. And that's really everything that I have to share with you right now. As we go through the cleanse, I will pop in and give you continuing education on each one of the phases, dive a little bit more into those supplements. I think that was a quick, brief overview. But I think the intentions of this was really just to give you an overview, talk about the supplements really quickly, and show you the resources that are available. So make sure you use everything. That ebook is loaded with great information beyond supplements and diet. There's some really cool swaps in there for your laundry room, for your kitchen, for your bathroom cabinet. So check that out. And then if you're doing the basic, the advanced, or the full throttle version of the dietary protocols, you still want to use this elimination diet guide, because it's going to give you those resources I just pointed out, and that's going to support anybody on their journey here. So make sure you tap into all of that goodness. In the Facebook group, you're going to find all this information under guides. So if you, over the course of the 30 days, feel like you've gotten lost, you didn't get to see all the posts or all the videos or all the content, go to those guides and we'll be loading the information in there as it becomes available, so that you have one centralized location to get that content. But also use your guide, because I would say like 90% of the information we're going to share is going to show up in that guide as well. So thank you. I'm so excited for you to be on this journey with me. I need to take care of my acneic forehead. I also am doing this journey, this go around, for energy. I'm feeling a little sluggish, not like myself. And I feel so good after doing this cleanse, and I can't wait for you to experience that as well. So if you have questions, I'm happy to help. And also the person who introduced you to this lifestyle and introduced you to this cleanse, they are brilliant and they have lots of great information for you as well. So good luck to you and take care.